Ever wonder which seemingly harmless habits could be draining the life out of your motorcycle's engine? Today, we'll uncover 10 bad habits that silently sabotage performance and saddle you with huge repair bills down the road. Because let's face it, keeping your engine in top shape is the key to enjoying the open highway mile after mile. Let's shift gears and dive right into our countdown. Number 10. Revving a cold engine. Starting a cold engine and immediately giving it high revs can be rougher on your bike's internals than you might think. When an engine sits for hours, especially in chilly weather, oil sits in the sump instead of coating the cylinder walls and upper parts. That first aggressive twist of the throttle forces unlubricated metal-to-metal contact, which can score cylinder walls, wear down piston rings, and stress the camshaft. Plus, cold oil is thicker and circulates more slowly, so bearings and valves take an extra beating. Without proper lubrication, friction skyrockets. Over time, you could be looking at a noticeable dip in horsepower, excessive oil consumption, or even significant engine damage that requires costly repairs. Give your bike 30 to 60 seconds of gentle idling, up to a couple of minutes if it's near freezing, before riding off. Even then, keep the RPMs moderate for the first few miles so the oil can fully warm and flow. This short warm-up can drastically extend your engine's lifespan. Number 9. Lugging the engine at low RPMs. Picture trying to pedal a bicycle uphill in the highest gear. You strain more than necessary, right? The same concept applies when you ride your motorcycle at very low RPMs in a higher gear. This lugging effect generates excessive vibrations and can lead to engine knock. Your crankshaft, connecting rods, and bearings bear the brunt of these stress waves, which shortens their service life significantly. Under heavy strain, bearings wear faster and misfires or overheating can crop up. Modern bikes might have knock sensors, but they're not foolproof and can't erase all the damage caused by lugging. Downshift whenever your engine starts to chug or vibrate heavily. The goal is to keep the RPMs in the bike's power band, allowing the engine to spin more freely. It's healthier to have a slightly higher RPM than to push the engine into a zone where it's laboring. Number 8. Using cheap or incorrect fuel. Engines are carefully designed for specific octane ratings. If your manual recommends 91 or 93 octane and you settle for regular, you run the risk of pre-ignition, often called knock or ping. This is when the fuel-air mixture detonates prematurely, sending damaging shockwaves through the engine's internals. Lower quality fuel can also contain contaminants, water, or excessive ethanol, all of which degrade performance and may corrode vital parts like injectors and lines. Consistent knocking erodes pistons and valve seats. High ethanol blends can degrade rubber seals and hoses, especially on older or carbureted bikes, leading to leaks and poor fuel efficiency over time. Follow the octane guidelines in your owner's manual. If premium fuel is called for, don't cut corners with regular. Seek ethanol-free gas when possible, especially for older models less tolerant of ethanol blends. Number 7. Ignoring valve clearance adjustments. The valves in your motorcycle regulate air-fuel intake and exhaust flow, creating the necessary compression for combustion. Over time, heat and normal use can cause these clearances to shift. If they're too tight, the valves might not close fully, leading to compression loss and even burned valves. If they're too loose, you risk poor combustion, rough idling, and compromised performance. Neglected valve clearances can trigger everything from reduced fuel efficiency to catastrophic engine damage. You might face a complete head rebuild or a meltdown of critical components. Most bikes require a valve check and potential adjustment every 5,000 to 15,000 miles, depending on model and usage. Adhere strictly to your manufacturer's service intervals. Properly spaced valves reward you with smoother power delivery, easier starts, and a more efficient combustion process. Number 6. Letting dirt clog your air filter. Your air filter is the first line of defense against dust, dirt, and debris that would otherwise invade the combustion chamber. When it's neglected and becomes clogged, airflow is restricted. This imbalance forces the engine to run rich, burning extra fuel, while also risking carbon buildup on the valves. A dirty filter means poor throttle response, decreased power, and higher engine temperatures. If the filter is severely compromised, tiny particles can sneak through, causing abrasive damage to the cylinder walls and piston rings. Check, clean, and replace your air filter based on mileage and riding environment. For most road bikes, that's around every 5,000 to 10,000 miles. Off-roaders or those frequently riding in dusty conditions should do it more often. A clean filter keeps your engine breathing easy and running strong. Number 5. Excessive short rides without reaching operating temperature. Repeatedly taking short 2 or 3 minute trips might be convenient, but those quick hops don't allow your oil to warm up and reach optimum viscosity. The engine never gets hot enough to burn off moisture and unburned fuel, which collect in the oil as sludge. This sludge compromises lubrication and can cause corrosion over time. Sludge buildup starves components of proper lubrication and increases friction. You may notice more frequent oil changes are needed, or worse, you can experience early bearing or camshaft damage. Plan to ride for at least 10 to 15 minutes wherever possible. Longer trips let the oil heat up fully, vaporizing moisture and carrying away contaminants. If short rides are unavoidable, schedule a longer excursion occasionally to help clean out the system. Number 4. Ignoring chain maintenance. Your chain may not be part of the engine itself, but it's the critical link transferring power from the transmission to the rear wheel. A neglected chain, whether it's dry, rusty, or poorly tensioned, forces the engine to work harder due to increased friction and uneven power delivery. A too tight chain overburdens output shaft bearings. A too loose chain can whip around, wear sprockets prematurely, and risk snapping under load. Either scenario can lead to abrupt power loss or even a dangerous on-road failure. Clean and lubricate the chain every 500 to 1,000 miles. Adjust tension per the owner's manual to keep the chain properly slacked. A healthy chain not only extends the life of drivetrain components, but also makes for smoother, more efficient riding. Number 3. Repeatedly overfilling or underfilling oil. When it comes to engine oil, more is not always better. Overfilling raises internal pressures and can lead to oil foaming, seal leaks, and even stalling if the crankcase becomes flooded. Underfilling, on the other hand, deprives critical parts, like pistons and camshafts, of lubrication, leading to metal-on-metal scraping and overheating. Both scenarios accelerate wear and tear. Underfilled engines often seize up if run too long, while overfilled engines can blow seals or develop serious gasket leaks. Check your oil level with the bike on level ground using the sight glass or dipstick. Always follow the manufacturer's specified oil capacity, grade, and change intervals. Correct oil maintenance is a budget-friendly way to prevent catastrophic engine damage. Number 2. Ignoring coolant system maintenance. On liquid-cooled motorcycles, the coolant is just as essential as engine oil. Over time, coolant loses its protective qualities and can become acidic or sludge-like. Worn coolant also fails to keep the temperature stable, risking overheating, blown head gaskets, and warped cylinder heads. Using the wrong coolant, like plain water or car-specific antifreeze, can corrode aluminum parts or degrade seals. Insufficient or old coolant strains the engine's temperature management. When heat spikes, you risk sudden breakdowns and expensive fixes like warped heads or cracked blocks. Check coolant levels regularly, especially in hot weather or stop-and-go conditions. Flush and replace the coolant every 2 years, or as recommended, using a motorcycle-specific formula. Inspect hoses, radiators, and clamps for leaks or rust to ensure a smooth ride. Number 1. Riding with dirty or failing spark plugs. Spark plugs ignite the air-fuel mixture, and if they're fouled or worn, you'll get weak or inconsistent sparks. That results in incomplete combustion, leading to sluggish acceleration, poor fuel economy, rough idling, and even backfires. Excessive carbon deposits on the electrodes can also cause starting issues on cold mornings. When spark plugs don't function properly, extra fuel might pass into the exhaust unburned, raising emissions and potentially damaging the catalytic converter on bikes that have one. Plus, an engine misfire puts additional stress on the crankshaft and bearings. Inspect and clean spark plugs at the first sign of rough running. In many models, they should be replaced every 5,000 to 15,000 miles. Always use the correct spark plug type and gap specified in your manual. A fresh set of plugs can transform your bike's performance. Jokes aside, adopting these healthy engine habits is the best way to keep your motorcycle running like new. Simple steps, like warming up properly, using the right fluids, and staying on top of regular maintenance, can save you thousands of dollars and countless headaches in the long run. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss upcoming tips and reviews. Hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see you next time on the open road.